Have you ever bitten into something that looks like a potato, crunches like an apple, tastes slightly sweet, and somehow feels refreshing at the same time? You might have eaten jicama without even realizing how strange and fascinating it really is. Often sliced into sticks, sprinkled with chili and lime, or tossed into salads for extra crunch, jicama is one of those foods that quietly appears on the plate, but carries a surprisingly rich story behind it. So what exactly is jicama? Is it a fruit or a vegetable? Why is it crunchy even when it's raw? And how did it become a staple in cuisines across the world while still remaining a mystery to many people? Today we're peeling back the skin, literally and figuratively, to uncover the truth about this underrated root. Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things. Jicama, pronounced jicama, is a root vegetable scientifically known as Pachyrhizus erosus. At first glance, it looks unimpressive, round or slightly oval, covered in a papery brown skin, and often mistaken for a turnip or oversized potato. But beneath that rough exterior lies a crisp, juicy interior that's bright white and packed with water. Unlike most root vegetables, jicama is almost always eaten raw, and that alone makes it unusual. While carrots, beets, and potatoes usually need cooking to become enjoyable, jicama's appeal is its raw crunch. That crunch comes from its high water content and unique carbohydrate structure, which gives it a refreshing snap rather than a starchy bite. Despite how commonly it appears in modern recipes, jicama has ancient roots. It originated in Mexico and Central America, where it has been cultivated for thousands of years. Indigenous peoples valued it not only as a food source, but also as a crop well-suited to hot climates. The name jicama itself comes from the Nahuatl word xicamatl, meaning watery root, which perfectly describes its juicy nature. Spanish explorers later carried jicama to Asia, where it became especially popular in countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and China. Today, it's a global ingredient, but its identity remains closely tied to its Mesoamerican origins. One of the most confusing things about jicama is how it grows. Above ground, the jicama plant looks like a vine, similar to beans or peas, and it even produces pods. But here's the strange part. While the root is edible, almost every other part of the plant is toxic. The leaves, stems, and seeds contain compounds that can be harmful if consumed. This makes jicama a rare example of a plant where the underground portion is safe to eat, while the rest must be avoided. Farmers harvest the root carefully, knowing that the true value of the plant lies hidden beneath the soil. From a nutritional standpoint, jicama is deceptively impressive. It's low in calories, low in sugar, and high in fiber, making it a popular choice for people looking to eat healthier without sacrificing texture or satisfaction. Much of its carbohydrate content comes from inulin, a type of soluble fiber that isn't fully digested by the body. This means jicama has a minimal impact on blood sugar levels, which is why it's often recommended for people managing diabetes or following low-carb diets. At the same time, inulin acts as a prebiotic, feeding beneficial gut bacteria and supporting digestive health. Flavor-wise, jicama is subtle but versatile. On its own, it has a mild sweetness with a clean, watery taste, which allows it to absorb flavors extremely well. That's why it pairs so beautifully with bold seasonings like chili powder, lime juice, soy sauce, or vinegar. In Mexican street food, jicama is often served raw with salt, lime, and chili, transforming a simple root into a vibrant snack. In Asian cuisines, it shows up in spring rolls and stir-fries, adding crunch without overpowering other ingredients. Its neutral profile makes it a textural enhancer rather than a dominant flavor. Another reason jicama stands out among vegetables is how it behaves when cooked. While it can be sautéed, stir-fried, or even baked, it doesn't soften in the same way potatoes do. Instead of becoming fluffy or creamy, jicama retains much of its crunch, even after heat is applied. This quality makes it useful as a low-carb substitute for water chestnuts or even fries, but it also surprises cooks who expect it to behave like other roots. Understanding jicama means appreciating it not for what it replaces, but for what it uniquely offers. Culturally, jicama represents adaptability. It crossed oceans, climates, and cuisines, fitting seamlessly into dishes far removed from its place of origin. Yet it never lost its core identity as a refreshing, crunchy root meant to be enjoyed simply. In many ways, jicama reflects how food evolves. A humble crop that starts as local nourishment and becomes a global ingredient without ever demanding the spotlight. It doesn't shout with strong flavors or rich aromas. Instead, it quietly enhances everything around it. So what exactly is jicama? It's a root vegetable that defies expectations. It looks ordinary but tastes refreshing. It grows on a vine but hides underground. It's eaten raw when most roots are cooked, and it travels effortlessly between cultures, adapting to countless culinary traditions. Jicama reminds us that some of the most interesting foods aren't the loudest or most popular. They're the ones that surprise us when we finally take a closer look. The next time you crunch into a slice of jicama, you won't just be eating a vegetable. You'll be tasting history, science, and simplicity all at once. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.